All right, well, we've been having lots of problems lately with our heater. Well, you can hear the thermostat click, and almost like it's trying to kick on up on, the roof. You almost hear some noise, but the heater doesn't turn on. So I've been messing with the switches, the buttons and stuff, and it seems like this one right here, the one that is either off, heat, or cold, and then the auto for the fan, the auto on, and the full on, someplace in here that it's just been wearing out. Because during the summer you have it on cool, during the winter you have it on heat, but it seems like it's been wearing out. So we went and bought a new thermostat. So in order to change a thermostat, you pop it open. There'll be two screws located someplace in it, and in this case there was one right up here in the corner, and there was one over here in the side. So we removed these screws from the wall. Okay. Also, a good thing to do, go out to your breaker box and turn off the breaker for your heating and air conditioning system. You want to turn the power off for it. It's safer just in case you go and bump wires together. Then the next thing is, being this one was a 7-day memory and it had 4 settings per day. It had batteries in it to keep its memories going. So you do that. Okay, the next thing you have to do is disconnect the wire. So you take a screwdriver, and right here you can see, hopefully you can see, there's screw heads. So turn them counterclockwise, all the ones that have screws. Should be four wires on the average system, and then pull your wires off. So you can see where this system had a jumper. That means this was a 4-wire system. A 5-wire system would have a 5th wire, and if it had the 5th wire, then you wouldn't have the jumper here. But for our system, that's how it goes. And so then you just pull it off, and you would safely discard this. Your batteries are still good, so you use them for something else. Then you get your new thermostat. Okay, so a new thermostat, we went with Honeywell. This is a 1-week thermostat. You can set 7 days, 1 week, in individual programs, 4 programs per day. So if you want the house to get a different temperature when you're asleep, you can do that, and then set for the first temperature, you have it turned down at night. Second temperature, you have it turn on in the morning before you wake up to warm your house up. Then you would have it turned down again while you're off at work or school, and then in the evening turn back on for when you come home. That's a good way. Just helps you save energy by using thermostats like this. Our second thermostat that we bought to test out the difference is another Honeywell. It's a 7-day. That one says 1 week. This one says 7 day. Same exact thing. Thermostats are even identical in their appearance. The only difference is this one here, when you touch any of the buttons, will give you a lighted display. Being that the thermostat's in the hallway and it's dark, a lighted display is very handy. Otherwise you have to turn on lights, and depending on the angle of your light, it's hard to read your thermostat. With my vision, it's very hard to read a thermostat. So the lighted thermostat is the way we chose to go. I think it was like, yeah, it was quite a bit of money. 70, almost $75, I think, with tax, which is kind of crazy, being that this one here we got at Walmart, identical looking, like I said, but this one was $20 or $25 including tax. The one over here with the light we got at Lowe's, which was $75 with tax. Just crazy. And unfortunately, because of my vision, that's the way we had to go. So we showed you, here's my little prop. When you disconnect the wires from the old thermostat, when you get the new one, it comes with your instruction booklet. This is your quick installation guide. It comes with, you know, English or Spanish, telling you to stop. If you have any problems, don't return it to the store. Call them. They'll talk you through the installation. Wall anchors and screws for installing on the wall. Then you have your owner's manual, operating manual, and you have these stickers so you can peel them off and label your wires. The stickers that I use, because I had to do this late last night when our house got freezing, is there's one that has 2 W's. Put that on a white wire. 2 Y's. The Y went on the yellow wire. G for the green, and then there was an R for a red. And this is just, there's a lot of other letters here and stuff. It's because they make this for bulk applications, where it's cheaper for them to do this and have all this extra waste than it is to make them more individual for the systems. They can use this for lots of different things. It's just much cheaper for them to do it this way, even though it's waste. Alrighty, so let's go to the hallway and show you what we had to do. Here's our wall where our old thermostat was. We've just been recoating this wall, which was probably a good time for this to happen because we still have to texture and paint. But, so we're going to stop right. Here's the wire coming for the wall for the thermostat. You put it through the holes on the back, as you can see. Here's the letters, the R for the red, the Y for the yellow, and so forth. And down here on the bottom, you have a G for green. You know, just your different codes for your wires, where they go. And in your quick installation guide, it shows you where also. You know, R for red, white, not used. Right here, these two, between the red and other, is where the jumper is. I showed you the jumper on the other, our old thermostat. Where if you have a 5-wire, you would pull that jumper out and you would have another red wire, an R, they call RC, so it could be red with chocolate, or who knows what the color is. But so you loosen your screws just like before, counterclockwise, open them up, slide your wire into the hole, end of it, do one at a time, and then clockwise turn and tighten everything up. Okay, at this point you'll push it back on the wall, get your screws, and install it on the wall. So the wires are hooked up. Here's, like I showed you, the new thermostat that we bought, that there, how it touch a button and it lights right up, so you can see. Very good at night, just like our old one. Heat off or cool, so if it's on your heater, your switch will be all the way to the left. If you turn your heating system off, cooling system, in this middle, all the way to the right, off. And then your fan, auto or on. On, the only time I use on is like if our smoke detector goes off because we burnt something while we were cooking. I'll flip it on so I can use the filter for the system really quick to help stop the system. Then you have this button for temperature up, temperature down, and then for setting, you set your time, date of the week, and your programs. Okay, now on this side, what was not included is the 2 batteries you have to put in, so you have battery power for your light and all, and then you need to know on your heating system, is your house all electric? If your house is all electric, you'll take this switch here and you'll move it to the right for electric, or if your house uses a heat pump. And then this house, it's gas or oil. Well, we got natural gas piped into this house, so that's what the heating cooling system uses. So it switches over to the left. You can see these prongs on the back, and that's what we'll plug in here to make the contact for the wires. Alrighty, well, now I got to go get the wall anchors and the screws, and I believe it tells you in the directions what size holes to drill for your wall anchor, for sheetrock, or plaster. For plaster, I think it's when they have you use the wall anchor. For sheetrock, you can just use the screw until your sheetrock strips out. So that's what we'll be doing next. Okay, like I told you, this came with a quick installation guide. Pretty thick book. Don't let the thickness of this book and all these pages scare you, because you don't need it all to get it installed. Alright, this will give you a breakdown to start telling you things to do. Removing your old thermostat. There's the letter tags for tagging your wires. Running that through your new thermostat with everything, hooking up the wires like we told you, exploded view, mounting it up on the wall, or no, this is insulation with batteries. I guess it helps if I read it while I'm trying to explain it to you. Setting the fan operation, installing the thermostat onto the wall plate, etc., etc. But then this just tells you how to do everything, and then it probably does it in a few different languages. Yeah, looks like. But so that's that part. Okay, we're just going to install this directly in the screws into the sheetrock. So got the first one here. I cheated and kind of got it started a little bit to save you guys some time of watching this. But so you get it in there, and it's starting to get a little pressure. Yeah, still got longer I can go. Okay, I'm not pitting it in fully tight yet. I want it to have a little bit of play. There. Right now that gives it a little bit of play. So we can take a level. And you see this has a round curve on it, so if I put it there, I'm not going to get it level, but if I just use a couple points and set it evenly, we can take it and adjust, and right there is right about there is almost level. So what we'll do is we get this other screw in, and there's little adjustments this side up and down, this side back and forth, so we can get it perfect. But we'll get our second screw in now. I should get a different screwdriver for this part. It'll be a lot easier. So one thing about this is, if you have one of those little pocket screwdrivers from Snap-on, Mako Tools, or anything, but the little pocket screwdrivers, that's basically the size of blade that you need. Okay, like we're saying, these little pocket screwdrivers with the micro blade is great, because that's what you need for getting in to get these little screws. Or a jeweler screwdriver set, something like that. But so there, got the screws in, the mounting screws here and here. put the level underneath. We're within the bubbles within the lines. So that's a good thing for that visual aid. Okay, then you got your thermostat. You need room up here for your batteries pack. And you can, so your extra wires, you kind of get them in a clump right there. You can see you got room here for extra wires. Again, the prongs that have to be plugged in. So let's go. So like everything's snapping into place. Okay, so got it on heat. Got the fan on auto. Check. Lights working. Okay, let's make sure. Turn the fan to on. Let's listen here. And there, fan just kicked on, so that's working properly. Now you can go through and set your program. Set your time of day, then the day of the week, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth. Just read your book, set your program to your personal preference. Like cool it down at night when you're asleep under your blankets, warm it up in the morning so you don't freeze your woohoos when you get up to have breakfast and coffee and get the kiddos off to school. Then have it turned down again for your third program while everybody's gone, and for the fourth have it turned back up to warm it up a little bit again in the evening. So that you have 4 settings per day and 7 days of the week, so you can program every day different. There it is. There you go. Oh yeah, don't forget to turn your breaker back on outside of it. That I forgot to tell you before I turned it all on. I'd already snuck out and did that part. I didn't think you guys needed to see our breaker box, but you should know where it is. It's where your power comes into your house, where your meter is. And enjoy your new thermostat.
And that's how you do it.